welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming episode 3 of the Lunar podcast, and I know it's been quite some time since the last one. I think 7 or 8 months since I last uploaded a podcast, but life happens and you kind of just got to take care of yourself. But we're here now, and I am so excited to show you what I've been working on, what I've been buying, and all my finished objects, which is only 2 in this episode, but there's gonna be plenty more to come this year. So if you're interested in all the things that I'm working on, all the things I'm going to be working on, all the yarn that I'm purchasing, all the notions, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and stick around. Okay, so I'm just gonna dive right in, and I'm going to start with my absolute favorite part, and maybe some of yours is. So I'm going to go ahead and start with stash acquisitions or stash enhancements, which is yarn that I've purchased recently. It's not too much. You might think that that's a lot, but it's a sweater quantity of yarn and then just some randoms. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. I keep looking over here because I have all the beautiful yarn sitting next to me. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, so the first thing that I have to show you is some beautiful DK Autumn and Indigo yarn. If you're not familiar with her yarn, she's actually the very first person that I started following on Instagram that was knitting related. And then she kind of transitioned into dyeing yarn, and now that's pretty much what she does, is dye yarn, and it's gorgeous. So she had a sale going on with Christmas, I believe, or the day after Christmas. And it was, she had, I think, 15% off of her shop, and then she had these mystery packs, and it was $14 a skein, and I could not say no. So I went ahead and got 4 skeins of her mystery pack yarn, and it was a really great deal. So I'm really happy with that. This is her classic DK base. I really wanted some DK. She had DK and fingering, but I don't have a lot of DK, and I wanted to have some more in my collection for whenever I do want to knit a DK sweater. I have a lot of options already, because since I've started knitting garments, I've really noticed that I can go back into my stash and pick out that random color that I had, and I can add it with another color, and that's been a lot of fun for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. This is her Aubergine colorway. It's this really pretty purple. And her classic DK is 100% superwash merino, 231 yards, and it's really soft. So this is really nice. I think she said that these were from like the trios that she had left over, or just one-of-a-kind colorways. So I don't think you can actually buy these colorways, but I got it in the mystery pack, and I'm really happy with the colors that she sent me. So Aubergine is the first one. The next one in the same classic DK base doesn't actually have a name written on it, but it's this really nice minty green color. It's not very minty, but it does have a mint kind of mint feel to it. And then it does have some like more blue speckles, which is pretty nice. And then there's even a little bit of green in there, like some lime green yellow color, which I'm really excited about. I really like this one. I think it's my favorite out of all of them. So there's no name for this one, like I said, but that's the next one. And this one, none of the other ones have names. So the next one that I got is, this was the first one that popped out to me because this is so my aesthetic. I love pink. And this is like a salmon-y pink, which is really nice. It's not too baby pink. It's a pretty grown-up pink, as Tony from TL Yarn Crafts would say. A very grown-up pink in her classic DK weight base as well. And not much to say about it. It's a solid, and I really like it. And the next one's the most variegated out of all of them. The other ones are pretty solid. This one is a pretty tonal, like blue color. There's a lot of paler parts, and then some speckles in there, and even some like more Pacific-y blue colors, if you will. I really like this one too. I had an idea for like a color block sweater with them, but I would need to get a solid DK, like a neutral to go with them. So that might be in the works, or I might just save them for a later time whenever I find something I want to knit. Alright, so I have one more little lot of yarn to show you, and this is a sweater quantity by one of my favorite indie dyers. Her username is Lane and Lotus, so if you search her on Instagram, you'll find her under that, and I'll show you her label so you can kind of get an idea, and I'll also have it in my show notes with a link. And sorry if you can hear any background noise. My dogs are in their kennel right now, and they're kind of moving around. But I'm so excited to show you the yarn that I got from her. I asked her to help me put together a kit for the Nordica if that's how you say it, pattern by Caitlin Hunter. It's her newest pattern that she just came out with, and I love it so much. So the second I saw it, I was like, girl, I need you to help me put some colors together. And I went on her site and I chose the colors that I liked, and she was so kind, and she sent me a bunch of pictures with them, and then she sent me some pictures substituting one of the yarns, so she could give me, like, she gave me some options and showed me what like looked good together, since she actually has the yarns. It's really hard to tell online how the yarn looks, so I was really pleased with how helpful and supportive she was in that process. So I think we came up with the perfect combination, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the yarn so you can see. Okay, so the first color that I chose is the main color, and this is First Things First, and her label is like the cutest thing ever. So it's Lane and Lotus, and this is the colorway. It's like this really nice tonal brown color, but I think it's like on the red side, maybe even borderline purpley on some parts, and I think it's gonna be so nice in the sweater. Like, this is gonna be my main color. It's totally not my style usually. I'm not really a brown person. I think like I have a lot of warm undertones and my hair is brown, and just brown isn't usually a color that I go for. I like colors. But I'm really excited to change up my wardrobe this year with a lot of hand knits, and this is gonna fit right in because the colors that I got to go with it, they definitely are in my style. So this is the main color for my Norshika. This is on her twist sock base. It's a 2-ply, and hers is a 75% super wash merino and 25% nylon, and you get 463 yards with these. So a lot. This is plenty to make that sweater. It's a nice little crop, so I'm really excited. It's so soft too. I just want to rub it on my face. All right, and then for one of my contrasting colors, I ended up going with the Tattered Linen colorway. I just love the base color of this. It's a really nice, neutrally off-white base. I can't even describe it. It's definitely not the base that the yarn comes in, but it's really pretty. I hope you guys can see it on the camera nicely. I don't know if it's focusing. And this label was a little bit different. I absolutely love the floral part with it. And you guys probably know I'm a sucker for moons, so that's great for me. And this is the same base, the twist sock, and it just has a few speckles in it, but it's pretty much a solid with speckles here and there. Really love this. I think it's gonna pop nicely. This is the one that she substituted out for another one, just to see if I'd like it, but I think we both agreed, and my husband actually helped me pick out this one. He's like, I think it'll pop more. So we went with this one, and I'm really happy with my choice. And last but not least, the yarn that I got to go with those colors for my Norshika is Lane and Lotus's. This one's already caked up, and you'll see why in a little bit. But this is her twist sock base, and this is an autumnal equinox, and it's a really pretty tonal mustard color. Mustard's one of my favorites, so the second I saw it, I was like, I need to have it, and she was like, those two go so well together. This one and the First Things First that I showed you, they do go really well together, so I'm really excited to just cast on, but you'll see why I haven't cast it on yet in an upcoming segment with my works in progresses. But yeah, that's the last thing that I have for my stash acquisitions for this year. I did buy these last year, not this year, so I'm doing pretty good in 2019 so far. I haven't bought in any yarn, but we'll see how that goes. So that's the last one. And I'm gonna go ahead and move into finished objects next, just because I know you guys are probably gushing over my sweater here, and this is one of my finished objects. This is the White Horse sweater by Caitlin Hunter, or Boylan Knitworks. She has quickly become one of my all-time favorite pattern designers currently. I keep casting on her patterns and I can't stop, and it all came from this one. I bought a sweater quantity of this yarn a while back. I think I have it in my first podcast episode about 8 or 9 months ago, and I didn't know what to do with it, but then as soon as I saw this pattern, I was like, that. And I didn't make it right away, I didn't cast on right away, but I saved it for that pattern, and I'm so happy I did. It's perfect. So I'll kind of get a little closer so you can see the nice speckling and some of the lace. I do have a tank top on under this, just because when you do the lace part, it does kind of show your bra, and I didn't want that on the camera, so I put a tank top on under, but it's really nice. I love the way this yarn feels after it was blocked. It just turned out so beautiful. My sweater did come out a little bit smaller than hers because I do not swatch whenever I'm making something for myself, which is horrible. I should really swatch, but I didn't. So I think my dimensions are a little different than hers, and I think I made the size small, which is pretty much what I always make in a sweater pattern that people have. I don't think I made any modifications. I did everything to pattern just because this was like my first garment. It was definitely my first yoke, and I'm still not that comfortable with lace. And there are some baubles, so this was my first time doing baubles, and not a fan of making baubles. And mine don't come out as well as I see other people's, like they don't pop out as much, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong and I need to practice some more, but yeah. I used the Ba yarn in the Less is More colorway, and this is 100% superwash merino, 234 yards, and this is a DK base. So here's kind of what it looks like in a cake form. If you want to see it in a hank form, I have a picture of it on my blog, I have a picture of it on my Instagram, and you can check out one of my last podcasts to see that. But it's by Ba, and I really like Ba. I want to try more of their yarns because I'm a huge fan of the way this feels after it's blocked. And I don't know if it's just because it's the DK weight or if their fingering's much like this as well, but I'm really pleased with the way it feels. So a little bit about the sweater is it has like these nice bubble sleeves. I love this like sleeve length on these. It does kind of go up a little bit more, and I think I could probably block it again and get them to go down, but I think it's adorable, honestly. I think over a cute little dress, this would be everything. I love how Caitlin Hunter always does the bubble sleeves. That's my favorite kind of sleeve. I think it's so romantic and cute and girly, and I just love it, and you'll see that I love it in all of the other patterns I'm going to show you. Let's see, what else is there to say? It fits really well. I wore it to Thanksgiving and everybody complimented me on it, and it was great. And this was my first time doing short rows as well, and I'm also hooked on short rows now that I know what they do for you. Love it. And I think that's all I have to say about this sweater. I haven't taken a picture of it on yet, which is why I wanted to wear it for this video instead of my other finished object, which I'm about to show you. I just wanted to show it off because I haven't shown it on, and I love it. I'm glad that it's the first one that I'm adding to my collection, and there's gonna be way more to come this year. This year is the year of the garment, you guys. This year is the year of the garment, and you're gonna see that. If you guys watch Wolverine's podcast, you'll see that she did the year of the garment last year. I think she's doing it again this year, and I'm on board with it. My goal is to have at least 12 finished sweaters by the end of the year, and I'm sure that's gonna fall off in the summer, and I'm gonna be like not wanting to do it as much, but that's the goal. We'll see if it happens. We'll see. All right, let's move on to the next finished object, which is my swag, which is also by Caitlin Hunter. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen this. I wore it out the day after I finished it, and I took some Instagram videos. I did like a little follow me around. So if you like those kinds of things, you should definitely check out my Instagram to see. But you'll also see the finished objects first, which is so cool. My swag. I love my swag. She was a labor of love, and I refer to her as a she all the time. Don't know why, but definitely a labor of love, you guys. If you have knit one, you know that. But so worth it. It fits so well. Like, I don't think it's the perfect dimensions like hers say, but it fits me exactly how I want it to fit. So even though I didn't swatch for it, it turned out all right. And there were some issues that I had with this one. Like, I messed up the color work on the very first part, and then I went back and kind of fiddled it around so it would work. So it's not perfect in that part. And then like I alternated skeins in here, and I kind of got a bit of a seam from the technique I used. It's not that bad, honestly. I don't even know if I can find it. But I've been watching so many podcasts because I don't know if you guys do this, but like when you're knitting a sweater, I go on Instagram and I look at the hashtag almost every day, and then I go to YouTube and I look at all the podcasts that I can find on it or all the videos I can find on it. I think Kristen Glass had one for her swag, and I watched all of her finished object videos. I just really like seeing what other people have to say, modifications they made, yarns they used, and it just keeps me motivated to keep knitting. So I really like doing that. If you guys don't do that and you find it hard to knit big projects like this, maybe check out like the hashtag and videos online to keep you inspired and motivated and see why people fell in love with the project and how they were able to finish it. I find it really encourages me to continue on. I did have one other issue with this sweater. I did a normal cast off on the sleeves and it was really tight. I only did it on one sleeve and I realized it was really tight. And then on the other sleeve I was like, okay, I'm going to try a different cast off method, and I tried, I think it's Jen's incredibly stretchy, surprisingly stretchy bind off. I think that's what it is. It'll be in the show notes. But it worked really well on the second sleeve, so I ripped back the first cast off on the first sleeve and I redid it, and now the sleeves are perfect. Again, she does the bubble sleeve, so it kind of has a, I love this sleeve shape, like it's so cute. I can't get enough. And then the obvious lace pattern, the obvious color work, and then she has this cabling design on the body, and it's supposed to be on the sleeves as well, but I opted out of it after doing the body. It was just a lot, and I thought it would make the sweater really busy if I did it on the sleeves, and so I just opted out. But I'm glad I did it on the body because I really liked the design, and I was going to do it on the sleeves when I started the project, but by the end of it I was like, no way. I believe like one sleeve took me almost 8 hours to finish because this is a fingering weight yarn. So if that tells you how big of a labor of love this is, then you'll know. Let's talk about the yarn that I used because I know you're all very interested. I used Explorer Fibers, Allie, and she changed her name, so I always have to like think about it. Explorer Fibers and Knits, and then I used Lane and Lotus down here, and I actually have some to show you. So this is the one I used by Lane and Lotus. She also changed her name, so that's why it says Little Lotus Lane. That was her original name. She dyed this for me specially. It's in her Vintage Love colorway, which is a natural dyed yarn with avocado. And it turned out to be this really nice pinky peach color. It wasn't exactly the color I wanted, but I'm really pleased with the way it came out. And honestly, I was so afraid when I was knitting this that when I wore it, I would look naked because it's kind of a nude color, you guys. It's kind of nudie. And I thought from a distance I would look naked, but I don't look naked, so it's great. And you can see there was a little bit of variation to the yarn. So I didn't alternate skeins until about down here when I was running out of the first one. I was like, okay, I need to alternate skeins, so I went ahead and alternated skeins, and I didn't do that for the sleeves. The sleeves are just knit with one color because I thought they were similar enough that it was fine, but I definitely wanted to make sure there wasn't any line in the body. So that's what I used for the body of this sweater. This is her Vintage Love colorway. I don't know if she still has it. This is a pretty old yarn that I don't even think she has this base anymore. I could be wrong, but it's just a fingering weight, 25% superwash, 75% superwash, 25% nylon. And it's less high twist than her stuff that I got recently. So that's why I'm not sure if she still has it. I'm also using, I got 4 skeins of this when I bought it, and I had 2 left over, so I am using it for another project that I'm gonna show you. I just didn't want it to sit there, and I didn't want to sell it because that's selfish of me, but I had to turn it into something else, so I'm using it again, and you'll see it come up in a little bit. Okay, for the contrasting color, I used Explorer Knits and Fiber. I'll have all of this in the show notes, so you can just click on their link and go straight to their website or whatever. But I used her Hedwig colorway, which is from one of her Harry Potter collections, and it's just a really nice basic neutral yarn with some black speckles and some brown speckles, kind of like an owl. So I used that in here, and I had quite a bit left over, so I'm using it for another project that you'll see. And I've really been digging doing that. Like when I have just one skein, I've been like enjoying putting it together with other things and creating something. So it's been very enjoyable for me recently to be knitting. So that's my swag. I don't think I have anything else to say. It blocked out so nice. If you guys like seeing like videos where people put the knits in the water, because I find it so satisfying, I do that on my Instagram. I do have it saved. So maybe I'll make a video of me blocking my next sweater just so you guys can kind of get an idea of how it works and what it looks like before and after. I think that'd be a pretty interesting video. But again, the short rows, I'm still not the best at them, so there is a little bit of a hole on these sides. I don't care. It's a hand knit sweater. You love the flaws. That's what knitting is all about. Like, my sweater is not gonna be exactly like anybody else's sweater, even if they use the same pattern. And that's the best part about knitting. I'm the only person that's ever gonna own a sweater exactly like this one, and I love that. So, my swag and my white horse are my two finished objects, and now let's get into my works in progresses because I have a lot. So for the next work in progress that I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna go over very briefly. It's my own pattern that I'm working on. I'm not sure if I'm going to ever release it or anything, but I had this idea in my head for a really long time. I think there's an Urban Outfitters sweater that inspired me that I kept seeing everybody on YouTube and Instagram wearing, so I had to try to make my own. But it's using Bernat's velvet yarn, and it's kind of a color block sweater. So it goes light, medium, and then darker on the bottom. There's a really cool hem using some shaping. I also shaped the shoulders. You can kind of see they go down. And then I did a really cool contrasting sleeve with some blue and then the light color from the top, which I'm not sure if I like this or not, which is why I haven't finished it. I think I like it, but then I'm not sure. It's cuter on, I think. And I did a really cute like bubble sleeve as well. It's very subtle. And then I just haven't finished the other sleeve. The neckline is pretty much just the normal neckline. I need to do a stretchier bind off because this yarn doesn't stretch very well unless it's knit properly. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about this one because I'm just not sure. Leave a comment below if you like this, if you want me to finish it, make the pattern, and share it with you guys because I think I like it, but I'm just not sure. So let me know. Okay, so this next one is also my own pattern, but this one is going to be a free pattern that I do with Hobium yarn. Back in 2017, I worked with them on their blog, and I decided to work with them again on this pattern. This is going to be released for Valentine's Day, so you'll kind of get that vibe with it. I'm really excited. I'm using mohair, and I'm using just a wool held together. I'm not going to go too into detail about those because I have a whole separate video that I'm doing. I'm doing like an unboxing and a review and a little talk about the sweater once it's finished. But here is the sweater. Okay. This is the front of it, and it's my very first raglan ever. I did make a bottom-up raglan dress a couple years ago. I haven't written the pattern for it yet, but this is my very first raglan top-down. And it's my own pattern, so I'm really proud that the math worked out and everything, and it looks so cute on. I posted this picture to my stories yesterday, and I'm just obsessed, you guys. So I'm still working on the body. As you can see, I have quite a ways to go on that, but it has a really cute fold-over turtleneck, which looks so good on. It's my favorite kind of neck on me. I think it just looks really good with my face, my neck, and everything, so I really wanted this to be very, very romantic and girly and flirty. So I did like a yarn over for the increases. So you get kind of a lace feel on that. So it's on the front and the back. I did do some shaping on the neck so it'll fit really well when you wear it. And then the sleeves are gonna have those beautiful bubble sleeves, of course. So it's just gonna be knit into a tube and then just close really tight at the end so it gives you that pucker. And if you guys can see, it kind of looks like a cloud because of the mohair. I'm holding one ball of the wool, which is a really pretty pale pink, with 2 strings of the mohair because this is a lace weight mohair and I really wanted it to be fuzzy and have a great halo, which it does. It literally looks like a cloud when it's from a distance. Like if you're not touching it and you don't feel that there's like another structure there, it looks like a cloud. I love it so much. And my vision is coming to life and I can't wait to release this pattern for you guys. Like I said, it's gonna be free. It should be coming out hopefully February 1st is what we agreed on. So I hope you guys will find this enjoyable to make and love it as much as me. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It is a pretty basic pattern. It's a pretty basic raglan. So if you're a new knitter, you want to knit a sweater, like this is going to be a really good one for you. It's really simple. Like I said, I'm gonna have it in three sizes. It is a free pattern, so I'm not gonna put too much effort into making a lot of sizes. It's gonna be so easy to modify if you are larger than a large. I hope that's okay with you guys, but I'm always more than happy to help you figure out the math for your size. That's just how it's gonna be. So once I finish the body, I'm going to move straight onto the sleeves and get this written up as quickly as possible, because it does have to be done by February 1st, and we are like halfway through January, so I gotta get on that. Okay, so I have 2 more works in progresses, and I'm very excited about both of them. Both of them are Caitlin Hunter's patterns, of course. And the first one comes in this little bag. This was such a sweet gift from the girl that I am sample knitting what's inside of it for. She is kind enough to let me test her yarn and sample knit a Nordica sweater for her, and I'm so happy. So Cozy Posy Yarn Company is what her business is, and she dyes some really gorgeous yarn. She's Canadian based. Roxy. She's Canadian based, so it's really exciting to get to try out some more Canadian based dyers. Just because I'm in the US, I don't find it as convenient to order from them because I'm impatient, but she actually shipped this DHL and it got here in like a day, so I didn't have to wait very long. Anyways, onto the pattern. That's what you guys are here for. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Okay, so this is as far as I've gotten so far. I haven't been working on it very long or very much, to be honest with you, but here it is. I'm just gonna show you like the cute cable because it's small and adorable, and this is a really pretty part of her yarn because it has some of the oranges in it. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm making the medium size for this. I did swatch and I met gauge, so hopefully it works out for me. And like I said, this is a sample knit, so it's not mine to keep. I do send it back to her when I'm finished, and she gets to have it to display her beautiful yarn, which I'm about to tell you about. I did want to show you my little stitch markers on here. They're the cutest little tassels ever. I love these. It just makes it even more fun to knit. But this is her Pressed Flowers colorway. This is her newest colorway, I believe. And it's gorgeous. It's got the prettiest base color with the prettiest like speckly variegated colors. And here is in the skein. It's really nice. And like I said, this is her Pressed Flowers colorway on her Lush base, which let me tell you is so luxurious. It's so luxurious. It's 70% superwash merino and 30% silk. 30% silk, you guys. It makes it so soft. I definitely need to use more yarns like this. I usually just use the superwash nylon mix, but the silk, prime. This has 438 yards if you guys are interested. If you need to make a sweater with it, which you do because it's so silky. And this is a single ply, and I'm pretty sure this is my first time using a single ply yarn. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was super intimidated to use single ply for a very long time, but now that I'm doing it, I'm hooked. Like, it looks so nice. Like, it's a totally different look than what I usually get with my yarn that's twisted and plied, but this is so nice. And the pattern with it is beautiful. The pattern is so enjoyable to knit. Like, I did all of this in one sitting, like one night. I casted it on and did all of this because I didn't want to put it down. But I had to put it down to work on some other things that I shouldn't have been working on. And then to go with the Pressed Flowers colorway, I'm going to be using the Raven, which is a really nice tonal gray-blue color. It's definitely a blue-based gray, which I really like. I think it's gonna go really nicely with the Pressed Flowers. And then the third color, because this pattern does use 3 colors, as you probably saw from my collection earlier, is Red Velvet, which is a really nice berry red color. It does lean a little on the blue-red side, I think, which makes it more berry colored, but I really like this as well. These are all the same base, and look how good that's gonna look together. Like, she sent me a picture before she sent me the yarn, and I was like, yes, yes, let me get that on my needles right now. So I'm really excited to finish this for her and send it away. Like, I've never been excited to knit something and give it away so much, but I think she's gonna really love it. Like, seeing her yarn knit up, like her new yarn that she's very excited about, knit up into a gorgeous sweater. I don't have too much to say about the sweater right now. other than it's so fun to knit, and I cannot wait to get to the color work. It's gonna be prime. So everything, it fits nicely in this giant project bag she sent me, which I'm so thankful for. I only have one other project bag and I tried to shove everything in it and it's way too small for that. So this one is perfect. Okay, and then while I was waiting on all my yarn to arrive from Hobium and from Cozy Posy, I did something bad. I cast it on another sweater and I really shouldn't have, but I had this yarn sitting there staring at me and I had to turn it into something. So I had some of the leftover yarn from my swag, and then I had 2 skeins of another one of Allie's yarns, or Explorer Knits and Fibers, and I needed to knit with it, and it was a sweater quantity amount, so I had to. And I started the Sunset Highway sweater, which it looks really, really strange right now because I have 2 sets of needles because I tried it on. I'm just about done with the yoke of it. I have about a ½ an inch left of the yoke, and then I'll split for the sleeves. But this is what it looks like so far. This is also by Caitlin Hunter. Like I said, her Sunset Highway sweater, and it's just really cute. The only thing that I'm disappointed in right now is I am still pretty new to color work, so I didn't catch my floats on the really long runs. I hope that's gonna be okay. I know now that I need to catch them, so I'm hoping that it'll still be okay for this one. If not, I can figure something out, fix it. But other than that, the tension work on my color work is really good, so I'm really happy about that. So I am using the leftover yarn from my swag, the contrasting color, the head wig for this color, the light color. This is Autumnal Equinox, which I will be using for my Nautica sweater from Lane and Lotus. And then the peachy color is also left over from my swag from Lane and Lotus. So that's what I did with those. And then I'm using my Mountains at Dusk color for the main color, which is right here. This is by Allie as well. It looks so pretty caked up. It looks pretty in the skein. It just looks pretty. Unfortunately, I don't have a skein to show you because I did cake both of them because I am alternating skeins. This is the funny skein. My husband really wanted to try to wind one, and he did a great job. But yeah, so that's what this one is. I have a picture of it on my blog because I showed it in one of my podcasts. So if you want to see it like in a skein, check out one of those. I absolutely love this colorway. I don't know if she still makes it or not. I haven't seen her talk about it recently, but as soon as I posted a picture of it, she was like, is that Mountains at Dusk? And I was like, yes, it is. So let me see if I can get you kind of a good picture of it. I'm really afraid that it's gonna pull weird, so I am alternating skeins every single row just to try to help prevent that as much as I can. I'm a little nervous how it's gonna work up. This variegated yarn isn't typically what I like. I just don't gravitate toward it, but Mountains at Dusk I had to get, and I was really afraid I wasn't gonna use it because it was variegated and I was gonna be afraid, but I just decided to go for it. It's gonna be funky, and I told my husband it's either gonna be really cute or it's gonna look like I'm on an acid trip, which you never know, but I think I'll love it either way because it's handmade, and I picked out all the colors. My husband did help pick them out, and I think we did a good job. And it's using the yarn that's already in my stash, so how great is that? I will say with this one, my short rows really improved. I don't even think you can see a hole with my short rows. Like, that's what I kept getting as a hole when I would do my short rows, but this one is solid, you guys. So I also didn't swatch for this one. Typical, I only swatch for ones that I'm not making for myself, like I said, but I think this one's gonna fit really well. I tried the yoke on and it's gonna have a nice baggy fit, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so those are all my works in progresses and finished objects and everything, but since it's the new year, I decided that I wanna kind of tell you guys a couple of my make 9s. I don't think I have 9 just yet, but I wanna tell you some of the products I want to make this year, and I wrote them in my agenda. This is my really cute agenda that I got from TJ Maxx. And I'm just gonna share like some of the ones I wanna make. I think there's only like 4 on here, and one of them I already casted on, so we're doing good. So the first one was the Nautica sweater by Caitlin Hunter, which is the one I'm doing the sample knit for Cozy Posy. And I also am going to make one for myself, so we only make it 2 of those sweaters this year, and I'm so excited. The next one is the Sunday sweater by Petite Knits. If you guys haven't seen this, it's really cute. Like, it's so simple, but so effective. And I think the second I saw it, I fell in love and I knew I needed to make it. So it's on my list. It's done with a chunkier yarn, which is great. It'll work up pretty fast. It'll be a nice contrast. I probably won't make that one until the end of the year though, is what I'm thinking, because it is a chunkier yarn. So yeah, I'm thinking the end of the year. I also want to make the rug sweater by June Kokomoto. I don't know. I'll have the name here as well as in my show notes. So, and then I have the rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a really pretty cardigan. It's like faded and it's got some cabling, and I saw it like a year ago or something and I just fell in love and I really want to make it. I also want to make a pair of socks, but I don't know that that's ever gonna happen. I did cash on one of the Woolly Kraken's Lysol socks and I just can't. I don't know if it's the needles that I'm using like the really short ones. I just don't know. I'm not enjoying it, so I'm not very far and I don't know if that'll happen. Like I said, this year is the year of the garment, so as long as I'm making sweaters, I'm happy. But that's pretty much, I do have some patterns that I want to make that are my own patterns, so those are in here as well. So yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. I have a lot going on right now and I'm very excited to continue on. Just like all the sweaters, I want to make all the sweaters. If you guys have any recommendations of sweaters that you like, please share them with me down below. As you can see, Caitlin Hunter has been my safe space recently, so I kind of want to get out of that. So send me some more patterns that are sort of like hers, you know. I don't want to change too much. I like that style. No. But it was really great talking to you guys again, and I really hope that I can stick with some podcasts this year. I'm not gonna make a set schedule like I'm gonna have a podcast up this day or this day, because then it won't be fun. I want to make sure it's fun and I want to do it whenever I have significant amount to show you guys, so I can just catch you up. So it might be once a month or twice a month or once every 3 months, who knows, but just keep sticking around because I do have other videos planned, some tutorials and vlogs and everything. But be sure to leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions or anything you want to see from me. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys later. Bye!